appreciate Lane for coming on the pod, and we're going to piggyback off that conversation, Trev. We're going to talk a lot more about Notre Dame. Not that he didn't cover it for us. I think getting his perspective was really neat. You heard, like I mentioned to you, like just getting called into an auditorium one day and your vice president's like, hey, out of here. See you later. But in the release, Notre Dame College stated that, quote, like many small higher education institutions across the country, NDC has faced long-standing challenges related to declining enrollment, a shrinking pool of college-age students, rising costs, and significant debt. And 3 News, the reporting party here I'm taking this information from, has since learned that the debt exceeded $10 million.
Holy shit. Oh, my God.
Because you have to think, if a school like this is closing down, obviously you've been trending down for quite some time, and it's also the amount is too large for any one alumni or any group of alumni to pitch back in, or like, because if it was $1 million, $2 million, then you think you'd have some kind of like last ditch effort to like, hey, we need to save the school. We need your help.
Yeah, get some fundraising, something to at least get it closed. But $10 million?
$10 million, they're rolling with that punch, and they're just going to roll right out of the ring, actually.
I just think it's so crazy because from an outside perspective, Notre Dame College is this very, like you probably talked about it.
Yep.
Very good football program.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, very good football program. You would think it's a successful school because usually good football program means a successful school. It typically goes hand in hand.
The reason for that is
because the funding and the money.
Exactly.
Well, apparently the football team probably was getting the funding. It just kept going in debt. $10 million. Everyone was getting money.
Apparently. But no, you're right, because there's, as corny as it sounds, like good football team means like good, strong university. Because typically in a sport like football that has so many moving parts, so much equipment, so many student athletes, and so many coaches and staff that you have to have on payroll, if you have a successful football team, typically, there are exceptions, typically that means that the program is incredibly well funded and that they have all the resources at their disposal to go out and get the coaches, get the student athletes, get the equipment, and do all of this, the venue and everything. But that was not the case. And some history on Notre Dame College. They opened first as a women's college in 1922. It didn't become co-ed until 2001.
Oh, wow.
Little nugget for you, but you didn't know that because I did not know that.
I had no idea.
No, absolutely not.
Which is even crazier that they had a good football program.
Yes, and it wasn't the vice president. Sorry, it was the interim president. That was the one who made the statement. I correct myself there. But they have secured agreements with 9 partner colleges and universities to help current students in good standing continue their college careers through a, quote, teach-out program as a transfer student. Doesn't apply to student athletes, but Baldwin-Wallace, Cleveland State, Hiram College, John Carroll, Kent State, Lake Erie, Ursuline, Walsh, and Mercyhurst.
So basically, almost all the schools in the surrounding area
absolutely
kind of helping out.
Hey, we'll take, and they're probably like, hey, you just shut down because you don't have enough kids? We'd like a few more so we can stay alive.
Yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah, so there's some other stuff kind of going on there. They've been doing a big job fair. And like basically a job fair, like matching people with schools, bringing all the representatives on campus, kind of doing hopefully all the right things. There was actually Cleveland State University, a school that I'm not very familiar with.
I know they're in the Horizon League for basketball.
They are, correct. It's Division I, I think, across the board as far as athletics are
Division I
concerned.
across the board.
They reviewed potentially acquiring Notre Dame College. A spokesperson told a different news agency that it's no longer happening. Basically, that Cleveland State had reached out, or I guess Notre Dame had probably reached out to Cleveland State, vice versa, and was trying to, order some kind of agreement for Cleveland State to annex probably the entire campus and operate very similar to a couple schools we'll talk about a little bit later. And that deal fell through. And Cleveland State said no. And they are, even though they said no, they're guaranteeing admission for former Notre Dame College students in good standing with no application fee. So I feel like that's kind of the least that a college can do.
Yeah.
You're going to come pay money for tuition? Yeah, we can waive the application fee. How much is that? I forget. It's been a minute since I applied for colleges.
I don't know. I didn't really apply to that many colleges.
I know it's like not enough to even remember.
And it was probably weird when I was applying because it was COVID.
Yeah, you were a COVID. Yeah, that's right. But
so who knows?
Let's talk about the football program more specifically, though. Right? This is a team that in 2023 was 7-3. A team that They didn't start playing football till 2009 because they weren't even co-ed until 2001. So they didn't get the program 2009. They won 4 straight conference titles from 2018 to 2021. And then in 2018, they were 10-0 in the regular season. They reached the D2 semifinals. Like, this is, dude, that's very, very recent history. You're talking about the last 5 years of this program and a team that has just produced winning season after winning season and dominated the MEC over there. This is... It honestly is just incredibly shocking. Still, I just can't really wrap my head around it.
I just can't believe like wasn't that long ago when they became co-ed.
Yep.
And then you would think you'd get a lot of more money from that just because you're bringing in,
yes,
in theory, twice as many people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But I don't know. It's crazy.
It's actually really cool to me to see schools like that have success pretty early on when it comes to like founding a team. I think West Florida is probably the most recent example of a team that just burst onto the scene and now like has just competed for like national championships at a good clip for the last
like pretty much
since their inception.
Yeah,
which is insane. Kaiser University and NAIA, they've only been a football program for less than 10 years. Just won the damn thing last year, which is really cool. But this is a statement from Notre Dame College. As far as their athletic department goes, it says Notre Dame College and the MEC are committed to assisting student athletes as much as possible as they work on their future plans. As per NCAA rules, all individuals with intercollegiate eligibility remaining are now free to pursue opportunities at other institutions. No permission to contact or transfer releases will be required, which is nice. The college's athletic... Why did they do those weird capitals? I really is throwing my eyes off, dude. The college's athletic administration will assist student athletes who wish to have their contact information available in the NCAA, transfer portal. Those students who sign national letters of intent will no longer be bound by those agreements and are free to speak to any institution. Boom. And it closes by saying that they'll continue to compete in all scheduled athletic contests for the remainder of the 2023-24 season. But imagine that. Like, you don't have to go to your advisor, like transfer point, get your name officially entered or anything. Just like that, you can just like, it's all opened up. Which I guess is nice, but like, I don't know.
Also for like the other sports, would you even want to continue playing? Like,
yeah, you have to finish out the remainder of the season. So I know like they've got a baseball team and they've got, basketball team's just wrapped up over there, but they got a baseball team that's in season right now. They're just playing. And you're like, are you playing with house money? Are you playing with no money because you owe $10 million? I don't like.
But then those guys are probably thinking, man, we got to play good because I want to find another home. You
that's
know what I mean?
Actually...
So there might be even more motivation.
Yes.
Watch Notre Dame College baseball have a great season. And
make a run of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like when you have, someone I think always think NFL terms, playing on the last year of their contract or playing on a franchise tag, and you're like, dude's got to ball out because he's trying to get paid next year.
Exactly.
Same deal. Same shit. That's hilarious. The crazy part, though, and you and I had talked about it a little bit, is that, and I talked about it with Lane, but they had 22 signees for this incoming class, right? That were just carpet pulled out from underneath them, just fleeced.
I wonder
just
how late.
Fleeced.
So when did they say that they're February 29th? That's when the statement went out. Which I would assume, I think it's like right around. It was like very last minute February is when they made that announcement. Which, by the way, making that announcement on like a leap year day, also crazy. I don't know. It's crazy. Is it just me or? Yeah, that's really weird.
That's kind of ridiculous. Like you didn't think maybe this would just get lost in kind of the Twitter timeline? Like, I don't know. And I didn't. So, but yeah, so 22 signees have been left out to
National
dry.
letter of intent. You signed that January something, right?
Yes.
So these kids are.
No, I think it's the first Wednesday of February.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So, for lack of better terms, these kids are screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just not many schools that are going to have spots anymore.
No, that's what really sucks. And so, reading one of the articles here is from a kid. His name is Braden Strum. Sorry, that took me a fat minute. Just an article that was posted about him, and he talked about. He had said, quote, that he had around 10-ish offers. But when he says offers, a lot of those are Division III squads. But either way, had a lot of opportunities to go play football at the next level, which we're not hating. Like, that's awesome in its own right. But he also apparently had some D2 offers from schools like Lake Erie and Walsh, which probably, at least from inferring from this, I can assume probably had some type of athletic, financial aid that came with that, which is big time. And last week, when this article was the week prior to this article being posted, he narrowed his options down and he chose Notre Dame College. It was like, this is the spot for me. He said it was the perfect fit. His mom was like all in on it, really excited for him. And he said, actually, what's funny too is that he chose it because some of the other schools were bigger and didn't seem as personable. Wow. And that's why he chose Notre Dame College, because it was a small, like, tight-knit community, which is cool, but also the reason that they're probably in debt. And he gets a call from their head coach literally just a couple days after he commits. Gets a call from the head coach. And this is his quote. He says, he called me, told me he had bad news. I asked him what it was. He said, school's shutting down after the semester. He said, kids shocked because never saw this possibly happening. You got 94 current players, over 20 new signees that are just boom. And so he said that him and his mom now just scrambling back to the drawing board before he walks the graduation stage, hopefully onto another football field. Hopefully. Wow.
I just gotta think it's crazy. Like, did the coaches and other people within Notre Dame College, did they know? How long did they know this was in the works?
I doubt the coaches would. Just because I know college coaches, there's no way they would keep that from student athletes.
Yeah, they would be up front. Like, I know,
absolutely.
Like, for another example, Concordia, Ann Arbor, had some financial issues, and I had a player at Milford, my high school, that I knew, and he was committed there, but they're very upfront, and I don't remember exactly what
about
happened.
The whole situation.
About the whole situation. So then he had time to look for other options, but then Concordia and Ann Arbor figured out a way to, like, they're still going to have a football team.
Got their shit together.
They got their shit together, so he ended up committing to Concordia, but that's not awesome. The point.
Yeah.
But they were very upfront with them right away.
Yeah. So, and that's where his mom, this kid, Braden's mom's frustrations are incredibly warranted. The quote here, she says, I can't help but think someone out there knew this and saw this coming. Why would they do that to the kids who have been recruited and then go and crush their dreams?
Yeah, exactly. If you would have known this was a possibility, you wouldn't have committed. But
yeah. If they outlined, and that's probably what they were worried about, right? Is like losing an entire class. But at the same time, if losing an entire signing class is your top worry, I've got about 10 million other reasons that it shouldn't be.
I was just going to say that. That class at 22 is not going to equal $10 million for the school.
Yeah.
Not even close,
no.
Actually.